Welcome to the MiG-29. The NATO code name for this Russian fighter jet is Fulcrum. Let's get this beast started. Before we do, a note on key pressing technique. Many of the commands require two keys. Always press and hold down the first key mentioned before pressing the second. Turn on the electrical power by pressing right shift and L. Turn on the cockpit lights by pressing L. Press the spacebar to continue. With the electrical power now engaged, you can see that the head-up display or HUD comes to life. Now that we have power, you can turn on the nav lights by pressing right control and L. If you're going on a combat mission, leave them off. Press the spacebar to continue. If you have an annoying beep, it's the RWR or radar warning receiver. Turn down the volume by pressing right Alt and comma. Next, let's close the canopy by pressing left control and C. Press the spacebar to continue. We're now going to start the left or number 1 engine. Highlighted are the warning panel and the RPM gauge. Press right Alt and Home. That's right Alt and Home. You will notice the green ignition light illuminate on the warning panel. And after about 10 seconds, the number 1 left engine RPM registers on the RPM gauge. Once the green light goes out, at around 40% engine RPM, ignition is complete. Press the spacebar. With the ignition light on the warning panel out, we can start the right or number 2 engine. Press right control and home. Note the ignition green light, and note there will be a 10-second delay before the number 2 RPM needle registers. Press spacebar to continue. In the lower left corner of the dash is an aircraft symbol that indicates the status of your slat and flaps, landing gear and air brake. It has 3 green lights showing the gear down. If the center circle is lit, you have a problem with the gear. Now lower your slats and flaps to the takeoff position by pressing F. F will cycle the flaps up and down. You can check where they are by looking at the gauge. The indicator now has 6 flap slat lights shown as bars and 3 green lights. Put your taxi light on by pressing right Alt and L. Press the spacebar to continue. We're now ready to taxi. Be careful. Look down at the stick and press and hold W to engage the wheel brakes. You can see the brake lever move, like a handbrake. Release W and the wheel brakes are released. For taxiing in a moment, we will be using the number pad plus and minus keys. The page up and page down keys only use 4 settings: 70%, 90%, max dry and burner, so there's no finesse. We will be testing the brakes using number pad plus just once to get moving, then pressing W to stop the aircraft. OK, if you've got that, we're ready to taxi. Press the spacebar. Now, tap number pad plus just once to get moving. On sense and forward movement, tap number pad minus. Press and hold W to stop the aircraft. Controlling the throttle is obviously easier with a throttle rather than a keyboard. Now, repeat this process. As you taxi, practice using small and smooth rudder corrections, Z and X, to keep you aligned on the centre of the taxiway. Maintain walking speed. At the fork here, hang a right. OK, turn left here using the Z key and follow the taxiway parallel to the runway. Maintain walking speed and remember W is the wheel brake. Once safely airborne, get the gear up by pressing G and flaps up by pressing F. If you have the capacity, glance down and watch the green lights all go out. Congratulations! That concludes this lesson on starting up, taxiing and takeoff, SUTO, in the MiG-29 Fulcrum. You can end the lesson now by testing and escape. You also eject by holding down left control and E 3 times. Or just tool around a bit and try landing. Remember, G will put the gear back down, F the flaps, and B the air brake or speed brake. Whatever you decide,